is identified as public. These check marks in here. Oh, okay. Is Lydia Cato here?
Yes.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Lydia Lorna Cato, file number 23827607881. Do you have an attorney, ma'am?
Well, ma'am, she said that she would represent me if I want one.
The public defender said that? You requested, or it looks like you declined originally. You want to request public defense to represent you now? You have the right to be represented by counsel, so you can make that request. Is that what you want to do? Okay, and this one's for an expired license. You do an intake with public defender's office so that they can see if you're eligible to be represented by them, okay? Okay, we'll get you a new court date because you're requesting an attorney. August 12th at 10 o'clock. Do you have any questions for the court today, ma'am? Okay, we'll get you a copy of your notice to appear. You can have a seat in the back until the public defender is ready to meet with you, okay? Record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Jennifer Kaysen, file number 24-01818 and 24-0119091. Counsel appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lawrence, on behalf of Ms. Kaysen.
Is Ms. Kaysen present?
I have not yet seen her this morning, Your Honor.
Have you been in contact with her at all?
One moment, Your Honor. I left the voicemail, Your Honor, last week, but did not actually speak with her myself.
I'll show page warrant on the driving unlicensed and a default on the expired. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan, the people of the city of Lansing versus Ronald Hurd, file number 24L2860132, counsel appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Okay, Mr. Hurd, you do not have an attorney representing you on this?
Yes, Your Honor, I don't.
Okay, did you waive public defense representation?
Yes.
You want to represent yourself? Have you already extended an offer on this?
Your Honor, Mr. Hurd has agreed to plead to the charge, given the underlying facts in his Secretary of State driving record.
Okay, is that what you want to do, sir?
Yes.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Okay, Mr. Hurd, failure to display an operator's license is a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty is a 90 days in jail and or $500 in fines. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to be represented by an attorney. You can waive that and represent yourself, which you elected to do in this instance. You have the right to proceed to a trial. You have the right to jury trial. At the time of your trial, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So that means you are innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the city prove your guilt at trial by proving each element of the charge of failure to display an operator's license. You have to prove each element beyond a reasonable doubt before you could be guilty. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to waive that right or those rights? Right, that means you're gonna give your right to question or cross-examine any witness that they were going to call against you. You're gonna give up your right to call your own witnesses, represent evidence at trial that you think show a defense to this charge. And you're gonna give up your right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you.
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody threatening you to give up those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Any promises being made to you in exchange for a guilty plea?
No, Your Honor.
As to failure to display operator's license, how do you plead?
Yes.
About May 1st, 2024 at 8:20 in the morning, were you operating a motor vehicle upon the area of King and Holmes?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that located in the city of Lansing?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's in Ingham County? At the time, did you have a valid driver's license?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and you had interaction with law enforcement at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
They asked to see your license?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you presently do not have a valid license, correct?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions?
Okay.
We're satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea if I am to be made to you voluntarily and intelligently. Your fine is $200. Are you gonna pay that today?
No, I need a little bit of time,
How much time are you looking for?
maybe a month.
30 days to make payment. Any questions for the court?
No, Your Honor.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
You're all set, sir. Valerie, is she in custody?
If I may, she's at Bear River.
You knew that last time. That's why we reset it.
John Lee spoke with her last week. She was supposed to be appearing via Zoom still from there. Also, to the court, hold that file for some time. There is an intent to resolve that case when she appears.
If she appears, I'm just gonna go ahead and reset it at this point.
Okay.
August 12 at 10:30. August 12 at 10:30.
Thank you.
No problem. It's what the public defender get in contact to make sure they're aware. If she does, if she can log in, they will take care of it. If not, we'll do it August 12.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. On the record in the matter, the people of the city of Lansing versus Jesus Mendoza Posadas, on number 24-01672. Counsel appears.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence here on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Nobody's representing themselves today, huh? You don't have an attorney? Yeah? You have an attorney? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's not much.
Do you need an interpreter?
Yeah.
Radio down for Carlos. That would be fine, yes. You can have a seat, sir.
He said not at the moment. He's got a training with him.
Oh, okay. So we'll reset it. August 12th at 10:30. August 12th at 10:30. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Mariah Lisette Palasio, number 2302788-762.
Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence here on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Palasio, who is standing to my right.
How are you, Ms. Palasio?
Good, how are you?
I'm well. We haven't seen you in some time.
Yeah.
You told me in September that you had taken a permit test. You needed to retake the permit test because 60 days had expired. We reset that for you. We gave you the date. You were here. I told you to come back December 19th. December 19th, you never came back. 7 months, 8 months has passed. And it looks like you told the magistrate on the 9th that you didn't get the mail. What mail were you looking to get?
Mail for court. I guess I didn't know that I told them I didn't get no mail. I didn't unless I was getting court dates sent to an address that I was not at no more.
We gave you your court date when you were in front of me. I told you what your next court date was.
Well, I must have just made a mistake and forgot that.
Do you have a cell phone?
I didn't have a cell
What kind of phone do you have?
phone.
It's a pretty fancy phone. I bet you they have a calendar on it, don't they? You know how to use it?
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Because there's no reason why you should have a warrant on a licensing matter.
I didn't show up December 19th. It's not an excuse, but I had my baby at December 4th, and it was just really hard after that.
I don't discount it.
I just made a mistake. And
I don't discount that. But you had a number of mechanisms to get around that. No one said you had to come in person. You could have appeared via Zoom with your baby if that's what you needed to do. Your attorney couldn't get in contact with you. You could have told your attorney, hey, I just had a baby. You think the judge will give me a new date? They'll tell you I'm very liberal with giving new dates. When I become unliberal is when they don't show up. So nonetheless, you should get your license.
I have an appointment tomorrow. The last time I was at Secretary of State, they continued to tell me they could not give me my license because I have a point. When I ask them what that means, they tell me they have no idea what it's coming from, that I need to come figure it out with the courts. The court's telling me that Secretary of State should be able to see my driving record. Secretary of State telling me that they can't tell me what I have a point for. They showed me the screen. They said they let me take the permit test on the computer. I passed it. When I go up to the desk to get the permit, they showed me the screen and she said it won't even let her continue to give me my permit. That was a few months ago. I do have an appointment again tomorrow at 10:20 to try again
For another permit?
for my license.
For
To
your
get my
license.
license, yes.
Anybody knows what's going on with her?
I have a suspicion, Your Honor, there's an unpaid fine here from civil infraction that's associated with misdemeanor today that I believe has defaulted. I suspect that fine is maybe causing a hole in the license, so I can also try and get that paid to lift the hole. Beyond
That
that,
would
I'm
be a
not sure.
point. Somebody put me in driving record, please.
I'm sorry, what-
I was gonna see if someone could give me her driving record. Because I wouldn't give her a point.
I don't know what they mean with the points
Yeah.
business. Usually it's an unpaid fine. I do see an unpaid fine for her. Other than that, I'm not quite sure what we're holding it.
I'm acting like this is a touch screen.
I unfortunately don't get access to the driving record, so
That's unfortunate.
it's a little frustrating at times.
See, right? I do see that. She has an FACFCJ termination from October. I see that. Does she have an unpaid ticket? Thank you.
I mean, there's three in here, but no. What is she?
This was the failure display ops. She did have a speeding and a notebook. It looks like on the same ticket. Yeah, but she goes in. You mentioned the 1 point back in September 2023. I don't know what the point is. I didn't see it, but you may have a suspension or a hold on it for not paying the bill. But let's see where this would fall. See, Secretary of State. 6 seconds. These are new. New offenses. Some new driving charges. It's June 28, 2024.
Yes.
These are new, so I don't even see what the FCJ is. Maybe it's not in this court. I don't know. You have any driving, any
do.
driving another
I do not.
court?
I don't
Know what it is. Well, I'll let you and your attorney discuss how you want to address that. It looks like you have some new citations. One is for a registration plate violation, and it's like the other is for no insurance. So you're right.
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I wasn't aware of their existence. I got it.
It's the total is due. It's here for 762. Yeah, 763, correct? That's what I want to, that's the one she would have at the default on. It's likely you put that one. These aren't set for another court date. These aren't set for a court date.
I don't think that's not, he already said it's been disposition.
Yeah, they both have a disposition in there, but I don't see where she had court date. Okay, let's see. Bond applied on June 9th. I'm sorry, July 9th. $125. That's exactly what this was. This was suspending your license, at least in October. I don't know why you told me in September you had an issue with the point. I don't know what that was, but this definitely put a suspension on your,
Just how they explained it to me at Secretary of State, well, they really had no explanation for me. They just told me due to me having a point, they couldn't move forward. That was a few months ago, so like I said, I was gonna try again to go tomorrow.
correct, but the point issue is not the same as this. So this You did have a suspension for failure to pay. I think I put you on a payment plan and told you that I would probably waive, it's typical for me to say, if you pay it, I'll waive the penalty and Secretary of State fee, reinstatement fee. However, you never paid or followed up. And so it looks like when you picked up this new case, July 9th, they must have addressed this with you. Because I see there was a bond on July 9th that was posted and applied to this older case. Is that right? Make a recollection. Did you pay some money on July 9th?
July 9, that was,
That was the day you saw Magistrate Milmore.
no, I did not pay any money when I just said, I told that they gave me a check back. I didn't come out of anything. The only time
They
I,
did give you a check back. They had give you a refund.
yes, I
It
didn't,
says that. It says that there was cash, $264 on July 9th. Bond was applied
when I just,
and
paid-
then they refunded $139.
I was refunded 139. I didn't pay any money that day. The last time I paid was just when I paid the 460 something, I believe, when I bonded out. They told me then that half of that was my bond and the other half was using to be paid towards those fines. July 9th, though, I did not come and pay anything else when I stayed in the magistrate.
That's what they put on here, which is the day you saw the magistrate, and then also these new tickets that you got. You must have saw the magistrate on those on July 9th as well. They have a disposition in there. It says you owe 130 on one, 190 on the other. So I don't know what happened at those. I don't know if you accept your responsibility at the time. I couldn't speak to it. But that's what you owe, and it looks, I don't see that you owe a balance on this one that was suspending your license. It says total due 0. Because they've applied some bond at that point on July 9th, refunded you the balance on July 9th, is what it says. And so I don't know how that could be tying up your license anymore, because that would have cleared anything, and any clearance would have been sent to Secretary of State. So hopefully they would have it by now. Counsel, how do you want to do this one? Jail to this license.
Your Honor, I defer to Ms. Sutter on how she'd like to move forward.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Palasio does have an appointment tomorrow at 10:20 with the Secretary of State. With that payment being made and the hopeful hold being lifted, I would ask the court to consider a recess of 2 to 3 weeks to allow her to meet them and potentially get the license back, as well as pay any of the outstanding fines and the matters from July 9th.
Ms. Palasio doesn't remember her court dates. Also 3 or 4 times on this. I think. 3 times. Ms. Palasio, how am I gonna be assured that you're gonna remember your court date?
If I can give you my new address, I honestly feel like mailing instead of telling me in person and me putting it on my phone, I'm not good with none of that.
That's not the insurance I'm gonna rely on. I'm gonna tell you your appointment today. That's the only, if you can't remember it, if you think I'm gonna rely on you getting a piece of mail at a later date when I'm telling you the date right now, then y'all need to handle it today. I don't know if your mail will get there. I don't know if someone might take your mail. I know if I told you in person on the record what your next court date is, it's your responsibility to keep up with it. If I told you today that you need to come back here on August 12th and I'm gonna hand you $5,000, I bet you I don't need to send you a letter in the mail to remind you of it, do I? So why do I need to send you a letter in the mail to remind you to come take care of your license issue? How old are you?
I'm trying to,
Act like it. I don't have to tell you, I don't have to send you a letter in the mail. We will send a letter in the mail, but I don't have to, because I'm gonna give you a notice today in your hand. Or give me an export date, please.
August 12th at 10:30.
August 12th at 10:30 is your next court date. You're gonna receive a copy of a notice to appear in your hand today. It's up to you if you wanna put it in your phone, put it on top of your refrigerator so that you see it. But you probably wanna put it up here, the same way you knew you had a appointment with Secretary of State. I expect you to remember that you have an appointment here, August 12th at 10:30. Because I really think it's ridiculous to put people in jail over a licensing issue, but you don't give us a choice when you don't come. So this has been a year of me extending over a year, because I think the first time you failed to appear was in May of 2023. Of us extending this, trying to work with you to help you get your license. You gotta come to court, okay, ma'am? Do you have any questions for the court at this time? Any additional matters for the record? You're all set, man. We'll get you your notice. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Sonia Palmer, file number 22-01417, council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan, here on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter appearing today on behalf of Ms. Palmer, who joins us via Zoom.
Ms. Palmer, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, today's the date and time set for a pretrial to license not valid charge. Council, how do you want to proceed?
Thank you, Your Honor. It's my understanding that there is a request for an adjournment on this file. The city does not object to an adjournment so that she can work on her license. I would defer to Ms. Sutter as to how long she's requesting.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Palmer is currently at Glass House and is anticipating a surgical date in the next week or so. So I'd be asking for a little bit longer than usual. The court's going to allow 60 days.
How long is she to be at Glass House?
I do not know. I don't think she has a current out date as of yet, especially given her surgery that she's undergoing. They're not quite sure as to the recovery time there, like maybe a few weeks, and then the time to go to the Secretary of State after that recovery.
Hard for me to date 60 days.
September
23rd at 8:30. No problem. Ms. Palmer, do you have any questions for the court?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good luck to you. Any additional matters for the record?
Thank you so much.
You're all set, ma'am.
Okay, what date was it?
September 23rd.
Okay,
At 8:30.
thank you so much.
Welcome.
Have a blessed day.
Same to you. Christopher Lowe, present. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Christopher Adam Lowe, file number 23-03650.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Mr. Lowe, who is standing to my right.
Okay, Mr. Lowe, today's the date set for sentencing. I'm assuming, did we have another matter with this?
And I believe he had one previously that he was already sentenced on. I have been trying to put some pieces together here. It looks like maybe this was set for sentencing on the 8th and that wasn't able to proceed, so we're back for it today.
Yeah, I see that this was supposed to be set for sentencing originally on May 20th at 9 a.m.
And he was sentenced on another matter that same day.
Yeah, and I noted here, defendant not sentenced on this reset. Did I send them? Yeah, probation. Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
And this was a failure to stop after property damage accident. Yeah. So. Fine is $200 on that. Can you make payment? I'll note here that you'll make payment within 30 days on that, okay? Thank you. That should resolve that matter. You're all set. Thank you. Anybody else is here yet? This is on. Who's on the Motorola? Your name?
Hello,
What is your name?
Jason Williams.
Say it again.
Jason Williams.
Thank you. You ready with,
Yes.
who is that that you have?
This
Mr. Horton?
Yes.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the city of Lansing, this is Brian Keith Horton, file number 24-01071 and 24L2854062. Council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter appearing today on behalf of Mr. Horton, who is standing to my right.
Okay. Mr. Horton, you were here on the 17th. Said this because you had a hearing with Secretary of State scheduled. How are we proceeding, Council?
Your Honor, I believe we have a resolution in this file. I've extended an offer to amend the DWLS in file 071 to fail to display ops. Mr. Horton is also accepting responsibility, failure to yield causing an accident in file 062.
Is that accurate, Council?
It is, Your Honor.
That's how you want to proceed, Mr. Horton. You want to plead guilty to the amended charge of failure to display ops and accept responsibility to the failure to yield causing an accident.
Yes, sure.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Okay, Mr. Horton, driving while license is suspended is a misdemeanor, and the failure to display ops that is being amended to is also a misdemeanor. So you have the right to have a trial, and you have the right to jury trial. You understand that?
Yes.
You have the right to the presumption of innocence. You're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the city prove your guilt by proving each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You want to give up all of those rights?
Yeah.
That means you'll give up your right to cross-examine, which means question any other witnesses or accusers that they call to testify against you. You'll give up your right to call your own witnesses to any trial or present evidence that you think show a defense to the charge being brought against you. You'll give up your right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. You understand that?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you to get you to give those rights up?
No.
Any promises being made to you in exchange for you giving up those rights
No.
and entering a guilty plea today?
No.
As to the amended charge of failure to display an operator's license, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Factual basis.
Thank you. Mr. Horton, on or about April 6th of 2024, were you driving a vehicle on or near South Martin Luther King Boulevard and Dunlap Street?
Yeah.
And that's in the city of Lansing,
Yeah.
Bingham County,
Yeah.
Michigan?
Yeah.
And at that time, were you driving that vehicle while not having a valid operator's license?
Yeah.
You can honor believe that satisfies the factual basis.
Questions from the city?
No, Your Honor.
If you are satisfied with the factual basis, I'll accept your plea and find your plea made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. Fine is $200 on that, and on the failure to yield causing an accident, the fine is $135. That's a total of $335. When will you make payment, sir?
Could I have a little bit of time? I only get paid once a month.
Yes, how much can you pay in 30 days?
Pardon me.
How much can you pay within the next 30 days?
The whole amount.
You gotta pay the whole amount in 30 days?
Yeah, the third Wednesday next month.
I'll note that here in the file, you'll be all set, okay? You're all set, thank you. Oh, thank you. Let's see, you have Mr. Williams on Zoom. No one else from 9:30 is present yet.
So, Your Honor,
Did you need to speak to Mr. Williams?
possibly, Your Honor, I'm switching cases right now. Give me 1 second, please. Yeah, same thing.
Bobby Harris. Does he have an attorney? From the JIS. Oh. We can bring Bobby Harris up.
I'm his attorney. If you're asking about him, as an attorney, I'm the counsel for Mr. Harris.
For Bobby Harris?
Yes.
We don't have an appearance. Okay, he's in custody, you can, well, if you need to speak with him, you need to go downstairs.
I do, Your Honor. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Is Mr. Seaver currently in custody? think my, I think we Trying to show my iPad out, so we update something. See if I need to find agent. Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Jason Robert Williams, file number 24-01352 and 24L84495. Council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, appearing today on behalf of Mr. Williams, who joins us via Zoom.
What was the date that was set for the pre-trial? Have driving while license is suspended. And I also, the disobeyed traffic control device accident. Like he said, back in June, he believed he could get his license. So we reset this so he can investigate that. How we proceeded.
Your Honor, we have a resolution in this matter. Mr. Williams was not able to get his license. So on file 352, the DWLS, the city has offered to amend to allowing the suspended person to operate. And he will also accept responsibility to the traffic control device causing an accident in file 95.
Correct, Council? Yes. Okay, and Mr. Williams, that's accurate. You want to accept responsibility to the disobeyed traffic control device accident and then plead guilty to the amended charge of allowing a suspended person to operate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Okay, in order for you to plead guilty to the amended charge, you have to understand certain rights and then you'd have to give those rights up. First, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to proceed to trial and require the city to prove your guilt by proving each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you, or you can waive your silence and testify on your own behalf. You have the right to question or cross-examine any other witnesses that the prosecution calls against you. And you can present your own witnesses by subpoenaing them to your trial to testify. You can also present evidence at trial that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you. You want to give up all of those rights?
Yes.
Anybody threatening you to give those rights up?
No.
Any promises being made to you in exchange for a guilty plea today?
No.
As to the amended charge of allowing a suspended person to operate, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Factual basis.
Thank you. Mr. Williams, on or about April 29th of 2024, Were you present on or about Holmes and Washington?
Yes,
And that's in the city of Lansing, Ingham County,
yes,
state of Michigan?
yes,
And at that time, did you allow a person without a valid driver's license to operate a vehicle?
yes,
That person was yourself?
yes.
I believe that satisfies the factual basis.
Any questions from the city?
No, Your Honor.
The court is satisfied with the factual basis to find your plea to be freely, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Your fine on the allowing, it's gonna be $200. And the fine on the disobeyed traffic control device causing accident, $135. When are you gonna make payment on this?
Within the next couple days.
You're gonna pay $335 within 7 days?
Yes.
I'll note that here on the file. Do you have any questions at this time, sir?
No.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing further.
You're all set, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Bobby Pierce. And file number 24-02039, council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence Perry on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Harris, who's standing to my right.
Okay, Mr. Pierce. The date set for pre-trial. It's for trespassing. How are we proceeding? Counsel?
Your Honor, I will defer to Ms. Sutter on this.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris currently has a couple of files with the city. There's one here and several before Judge Ward. At this time, we'll be requesting an adjournment in this file to allow for a conversation regarding a global resolution with those files. 2 to 3 weeks if possible.
August 12th at 11. How many questions for the court today, Mr. Harris?
No.
Okay, any additional matters for the record today?
Not from the city.
They're all set. Thank you.
Your call will be answered in the order it was received. Please continue to hold.
Okay. What's your name?
Jennifer Kaysen.
Oh, wait. She's here. Okay, and who do you have?
Your Honor, behind me, we also have Miss Walker and Mr. Rutledge.
You said Rutledge and who?
Walker, Kayla Walker. She is set for 10:30.
Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Jalen Rutledge, file number 24-01616, council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence Perry on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Mr. Rutledge, who is approaching council table now.
And I also have city of Lansing versus Rutledge 24L2864933932. And we reset these, Mr. Rutledge, earlier this month because you were going to try to take some steps to see if you can get your license reinstated. Council, how are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Rutledge has received a valid permit. And so at this point, I have extended an offer to dismiss the 616 file and the 933 file. He will be accepting responsibility to 932.
Council's not accurate.
It is, Your Honor.
So that's that responsibility 932. Fines $135. When can you pay?
In the month.
In 30 days?
Fine.
I don't know if you'll pay within 30 days. Do you have any questions today?
No.
Any additional matters for the record, council?
No, thank you.
Nothing further.
You're all set. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Kayla Walker, file number 22-00461, council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence Perry on behalf of the city.
Morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter on behalf of Ms. Walker, who's standing to my right.
Good morning, Mr. Walker. Today's the date that was set for a pre-trial. I think she was supposed to get an assessment. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, we did receive an assessment. I have reviewed it. We have a resolution, to my understanding, in this file. I have offered to amend the high BAC to an OWI 08 and amend the false info charge to breach of the peace civil infraction. My understanding that Ms. Walker intends to accept.
And then count one, so OWI 08, and count two, breach of the peace, civil infraction.
Yes, correct.
Do we have an advice of rights?
I apologize. Your meeting.
Do we have an advice of rights?
I do not currently have one sign. I can have the sign on that. Understand this, right? Look to the plea, I will sign there. With you. See, just 1 second. Sorry, 7. Oh.
Yes, please. Thank you. Okay. And you want to accept the offer to plead guilty to the charge of operating while intoxicated, 0.08 or higher?
Yes.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay. Gone over this advice of rights with your attorney?
Yes.
You understand each of the rights listed here?
Yes.
You want to give these rights up?
Yes.
So that means that you understand that you have the right to the presumption of innocence. You're innocent until proven guilty. You can assert your innocence and require the prosecution prove your guilt by proving each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes.
You have the right to remain silent at your trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to see, hear, or question any other witnesses that the city intends to call to testify against you, or you can call your own witnesses to testify or present evidence that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Ms. Kaysen,
Yes.
you can put the cigarette out while
Okay.
you wait for your. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want to give up those rights?
Yes.
Okay. And so you also want to give up your right to claim that there was any coercion or duress that caused you to enter a guilty plea. So is anybody threatening you to give up your rights and plead guilty?
No.
Any promises being made to you if you plead guilty to this?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you're guilty?
Yes.
Okay. As to the operating while intoxicated, 0.08 or higher, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Factual basis, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Walker, on or about December 12th of 2021, were you operating a vehicle on or near West St. Joseph and South Pine Street? Yes. And is that in the city of Lansing? Yes. Bingham County? Yes. State of Michigan? Yes. And at that time you were driving a vehicle, correct? Yes. And at some point you came into contact with Lansing Police Department? Yes. And did they take a sample of your blood? Yes. Because they suspected you were intoxicated? Yes. And did you at some point come to learn that that blood tested at above 0.08? Yes. And that is above the legal limit for driving? Yes. Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that satisfies the factual basis.
Any questions from the city?
No.
I'll accept your plea and find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. And you're accepting responsibility to the breach of the peace civil infraction, correct?
Yes.
Do you have a separate file for that? Or just put it on
Your
the-
Honor, I believe it was on one complaint and warrant, two different charges.
No, I recognize that. I'm just wondering, typically they'll separate two files. And
My
then do
mistake,
that in
I'm
this one. Yeah, so I'm just gonna note it in here. Because it probably was originally two separate files, but we sent this file over, so I don't think they made two files when they brought it back. But nonetheless, the amendment, the fine is $125. When are you gonna pay that?
Yes, it is.
I don't know that you'll pay today. I'm just grappling with setting this for sentencing out in September versus automatically referring her to probation, to a term of probation is what I mean. Just because of the age of the case, she's had multiple substance abuse assessments during the pendency of this matter. There was even an attempt to send her to sobriety court. So we know a term of probation is appropriate. So I don't know why I would hold out sentencing for another court date unless someone had an objection to immediate sentence.
Your Honor, the city has no objection.
It would also seem to make sense to me to immediate sentencing. I agree that this is almost certainly to result in a recommendation of probation. So I don't know that I see the point in delaying that by a couple of months when it's going to be the same results.
Right. Okay, you can make allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. The court here, as well as Ms. Hagan-Lawrence, has accurately noted that Ms. Walker has undergone several assessments here. Those assessments are fairly favorable towards Ms. Walker, and that while she does have some substance issues, there is some growth moving forward. The court has also noted this is a few years old. This happened in December of 2021. I do think a term of probation with orders like the standard ones of completing the victim impact panel and doing the regular testing and reporting with the probation officer, I do think Ms. Walker could be able to put herself on a good path forward for growth as well as continuing sobriety in this manner. I would also ask the court with the cost of probation and the cost of the fine to assess that it be kept in mind that she is on a limited income when assessing other fines for her. Thank you.
And Ms. Walker, did you want to make a statement for yourself? You're employed, correct?
Yes.
Where are you employed?
The Lansing School District.
How long have you been employed
A school year. So
there? Oh, just the first year you've been there?
yes.
How do you like it?
Love it.
You love it? What school are you at?
Luton.
How old are you, ma'am?
29.
If I may,
Yes.
I do see a note here from a previous counsel that she has also been attending AA since January around 2 times, has been attending AA as well as had been doing drops 2 times a week since January.
That's correct, ma'am. As indicated before, you've gone through multiple substance abuse assessments. There was an attempt to resolve this by way of sobriety court, and then we came into the issue where we couldn't get or the other court couldn't get a plea because you're maintaining your innocence on one of the 2 files, which we already resolved by way of a jury trial. And so I don't see the point in sentencing this in September when I already know that term of court supervision would be appropriate in this manner based on the circumstances. I appreciate the fact that you are currently in some treatment. You're engaging in AA. You're not getting any outpatient right now?
No.
Okay, did you get any outpatient since this?
No.
Okay. But you're taking a course of action, you're working, you're engaging in any other activities community-wise? No. Church, okay, what church?
City Life Dancing.
That's a community activity and it's a spiritual activity. It helps keep you centered and focused, I'm sure, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then we you have a strong family connection and support. He brought some support with you today. So I think 9 months of probation is appropriate. While on probation, you have the following conditions. You need to maintain employment. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to purchase or possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. You're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol, marijuana, or controlled substance unless you have a valid prescription, okay?
Yes.
You will be required to submit to random preliminary breath testing and or urinalysis testing. You're responsible for the cost of that. I'm going to order that you not be at any bars or nightclubs while on probation. I'm not going to order outpatient at this time, but I will order that you continue your AA and provide verification. You do need to complete a victim impact panel. I'll give you 90 days to do that. And you'll complete any other treatment as recommended by probation, okay?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about your conditions at this time?
For the probation, like when I get something.
When you leave here, you're gonna go down to probation and meet with them immediately, okay?
Okay.
$5 crime victim rights fee that must be assessed per statute, $50 state minimum cost. That also must be assessed. Your OWI cost.
Your Honor, in the amount of $412.85.
It's in this file, it's just the file. Oh, there it is. Okay, $412.85 will be assessed for OWI cost recovery. That's what you owe the Lansing Police Department for responding to the drunk driving incident. There's a $30 per month oversight fee that you're responsible for each month that you're on probation. Sentence you to 9 months, but that doesn't mean you're going to do 9 months, because you'll find out in just a moment that can either be extended if you violate, or it can be shortened, because you do have the right to request early discharge after you complete half of the term ordered by the court, so long as you don't have any violations, okay?
Yes.
So $30 per month if you do 9 months is $270. And so I'm gonna waive discretionary fines and costs because you'll have your hands full with weight. Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
what you already have here. And then if you do end up having your probation cut in half for early discharge, you need to make sure that they remove any oversight fees or refund you for any oversight fees, because that could slip through the cracks at times, okay?
Yes.
That's any oversight fees that you did not, you were not on probation for.
Okay.
So let's see, 474. Fines total are $807.85. And again, you can make monthly payments, or will be expected, that is, to make monthly payments on that. Do you have any questions about your fines and costs?
No.
Lastly, there's an advice of rights as to probation. Again, you have the right to be considered for early discharge from probation once you completed half the original term ordered by the court, in this case, 4.5 months needs to be completed before you can make any request, okay? You or your probation officer can make the request by filing the form. It's called an MC 512 form, the notice regarding eligibility for early discharge. That form is on the court website, or you can just ask your probation officer for it. If you complete the form yourself, you make sure it's required that you file a copy with the city attorney's office and then a copy with the court. The city attorney would have 14 days from receipt of your request to file any objections in writing, okay? If I set it for a hearing, which to date, I've never set a hearing for the early discharge request, but if I did, you would have the right to request, so you have the right to hire an attorney to represent you. You do not have the right to request court-appointed counsel for that hearing, okay? You have any questions about early discharge from probation? Are you still at the address on West Holmes?
No.
What's your address?
ALSDORF Street, Lansing, Michigan, 48910.
They will get you down to probation so they can make sure they get the information necessary from you. You'll get a judge, order of sentence that you need to review and sign. I don't know that they'll prepare it today. If not, they'll get it to you and you'll be able to sign it electronically, okay, and get it back. Do you have any questions at this time? Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Not from the city, thank you.
Nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Let's see, who's in the jail? Can you hear me in the jail?
Oh, yes, I can now.
What's your name?
McClair.
Very good. Did you have anybody, Ms. Sutter, are you ready on now?
Mr. McClure is ready. I also have, I have not spoken with the other individuals. Mr. McClure is ready.
Mrs. McClure is ready. Okay, on the record, in the matters of the people of the city of Lansing versus Jericho McClure, file number 23-00955, 23L2796402, 24-00115 and 116. Council appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence Perry on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Lauren Sutter, on behalf of Mr. McClure, who's joining us via Polycom today.
Okay, today was the dates set for pleas, I believe, on each of these matters. Are we still continuing with the plea today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please take the offer on the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. In file 23-00955, the defendant will plead guilty to furnishing false info and an amended DW. Instead of the DWLS, I will be amending to fail to display us. The other files will be dismissed.
So he's gonna plead guilty to furnishing false information and
Yes.
That's the remaining files. That's what you want to do, Mr. McClure?
Yes,
Raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
yes,
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Okay, Mr. McClure, you have the following rights, and you have to give up these rights if you want to plead guilty to the furnishing false information and the failure to display an operator's license. And that's your rights to the presumption of innocence. You're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to require the city prove your guilt by proving each element of each of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that right? And are you willing to give that right up?
yes,
Okay, that means you're gonna give up your right to require the prosecution bring witnesses that you can cross-examine. You're gonna give up your right to call your own witnesses or present evidence that you believe show a defense to the charge being brought against you. You're gonna give up your right to remain silent at your trial and not have silence be used against you. You understand that, sir?
yes,
Is anybody threatening you to get you to give these rights up?
no,
Promises being made to you in exchange for guilty pleas. I'm sorry.
Can you say that again?
Any promises being made to you in exchange for you entering a guilty plea today? I didn't hear a response.
No.
Okay, are you currently on probation or on parole?
No.
Okay, and is he in custody on these or something else?
Your Honor, I believe he's in custody on these.
Okay,
He has no other active files as far as I can tell.
you understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that you may need to report to your employer or to a future employer.
Sorry, could you say that one more time? It's like the sound is muffled on this.
If you plead guilty, it could result to a conviction that you may need to report to your current
Oh.
employer or to a future employer. Do you understand that?
Yes.
As to the furnishing false information, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to the amended count of no failure to display an operator's license, how do you plead? I didn't hear your response.
Guilty.
Counsel, factual basis.
Your Honor, if I may just really quickly correct myself, he is currently finishing up a sentence from 30th Circuit probation violation. Mr. McClure, on or about December 2nd of 2022, were you present on or near 3121 East Grand River?
Yes.
And is that in the city of Lansing,
Yes.
Hingham County, Michigan? And at that time, were you driving a vehicle?
Yes.
And were you driving that vehicle without a valid driver's license on your person?
Yes.
And at that time, did you also come into contact with a Lansing police officer?
Yes.
And he asked you for your name and date of birth, correct?
Yes.
And did you provide him with a name and date of birth that was not your own?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that satisfies the factual basis for both charges.
Any questions from the city?
No, thank you.
Or to satisfy the factual basis, I will accept your plea and find your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. The other matters will be dismissed per plea agreement. Think that I remanded, yeah, I'm back on June 28th, so he'll be credit time served on the furnishing false information. Fine is $200 and a failure to display ops. When are you gonna pay that, sir?
Excuse me, can you say that one more time?
You owe $200 on the failure to display an operator's license. When are you going to pay that?
I would need about 2 weeks, if possible.
Yeah, I'll note that you'll make payment within 2 weeks. Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Not from the city, thank you.
Nothing further. Thank you.
You're all set, sir.
Appreciate it. Are you still there on that bullshit?
Yeah, sorry. Would you be able to put this case in room 2 with me?
I could put you in.
Thank you.
Ms. Casey, you're gonna be in the room to meet with your attorney, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me see. Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Jamie Scruggs. And this is in file number 24-001-3641, council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Morris here on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Scruggs is present via Zoom without attorney. Let's see. He just wants to take a file in the magistrate no more.
Okay.
Thank you. Go off the record. Okay, back on the record in the matter of the City of Lansing versus Jamie Scruggs, as to the code compliance matter, how are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. The zoning officer was out this morning and the framing of the carports has been removed sufficiently. At this point, the city would move to dismiss in the interest of justice.
Okay, that matter is dismissed in the interest of justice. I do have, however, people of the state of Michigan versus Jamie Scruggs, file number 24-01553. Ms. Scruggs, this is a dog at large that you were supposed to be in court on, it looks like July 9th.
Yes, ma'am. I've got breast cancer. I just got out of the hospital 2 evenings ago. I was gonna go this morning, but I just couldn't get to, like, I'm sick. The chemo makes me really sick, so I'll be doing it tomorrow.
You'll be doing what tomorrow, ma'am?
I'm gonna go in between 8 and 9.
Go into where?
The court to see the magistrate.
Well, no, you were supposed to see Judge Ward, it looks like, for pretrial. So you can't just, I mean, I guess she will be on pretrials tomorrow, so you could do that, but I don't know if she has a time slot for you. So this is a dog at large. You have an attorney, it says it's Taylor Wicks.
Yeah, I spoke with her yesterday, I believe it was, and she told me to get on Zoom and do a meeting with the magistrate.
Yeah, that was a walk-in arraignment. Because we were notified that you had a warrant, I'm addressing it now so that you don't have to walk in and do an arraignment.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, so I noted that you missed court due to breast cancer or your illness.
Yes.
And so what we'll do is reset this for another pretrial.
Okay. Is this gonna lift the warrant?
Yes.
Okay. How can I get paperwork for this? Because just in case I get pulled over or something.
I don't know how you can get paperwork for it, but my order says the warrant's quashed.
Okay.
So it'll go in the system.
August 6th at 2.
And your next court date is gonna be August 6th at 2, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, and you're all set for today.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Same to you.
Yep, bye-bye.
Okay, everybody on Ms. Kaysen?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Jennifer Kaysen. I need those files, those from this morning.
Which one?
Kaysen. 24-01818 and 24-0119091. Council appearance. It should have been warrants.
Oh, I'm sorry. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence, appearing on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lawrence Sutter on behalf of this case, and who's joining us via Zoom.
Ms. Kaysen, why weren't you here at 8:30?
I thought court was at 10:30, and when I was signing in, I realized that it was at 8:30.
Today was the date that was scheduled for hearing. There's a pretrial on a driving license and a explanation hearing on an expired plate. How are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe we would be requesting an adjournment on this file to allow Ms. Kaysen an opportunity to get her license and update the plate and registration. I would defer to Ms. Sutter as to how long she's requesting.
Your Honor, that is correct. Ms. Kaysen has been meeting with the Secretary of State to try and find out what's holding her license. They've informed her it's an outstanding fine. She's trying to figure out what court will accept the payment for that, as she's been trying to pay for some time. If the court is willing to allow 30 to 45 days for her to try and meet with them, make that payment and reach compliance with the license.
She has a fine where?
They've informed her it's here. However, she's tried to come to the 54A court and pay that, and they tell her there's a zero balance. I also find zero balances for her. They tell her it's a very, very old fine for, she believes, paraphernalia is what they informed her. We can't find it in 54A, 54B, or 55th.
It's for drug paraphernalia, you said?
That's what she informed me, yes. She believes it's incredibly old. She can't find a court that will claim it.
Yeah, I don't see anything in our system, but I'll leave that to you all to work through. And we'll give you 45 days.
September 9th and
September 9th at what time?
9th.
At 9:30. Have any questions, Ms. Kason?
No, ma'am.
We will see you September 9th at 9:30.
Your Honor, may I ask one question?
Yes,
Is the explanation also, hearing also being reset for that date?
correct.
Thank you. Nothing further.
No problem. You're all set, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You don't have anyone else here, Ms. Sutter, do you?
I do not believe so.
Okay, and we have the LLC cars
We do, Your Honor.
on the record. In the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Cars LLC 240013651, council appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Deputy City Attorney Lisa Hagan Lawrence here on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Sir, what's your name?
Mustafa Asif,
Stop, please spell your full name.
Mustafa, last name ASSI.
Okay. Today's date set for hearing on a code compliance issue. How do you want to proceed?
Thank you, Your Honor. The property is continued to be non-compliant. So at this point, we are prepared to move forward with the hearing.
You can proceed. You can have a seat.
Thank you, Your Honor. The city of Lansing would call Zach Driver.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury.
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can have a seat, Mr. Driver. You can proceed, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Driver, are you employed?
I am.
Where and what is your title?
I am employed with the City of Lansing Planning Office. My title is the Commercial Corridor Specialist, where I uphold the city's own ordinance as part of my duties.
So you mentioned the city zoning ordinance that is codified within the Lansing codified ordinance.
That is correct.
Are you familiar with a property located at 5351 South Pennsylvania Avenue?
Yes, I am.
That property, is it within the city of Lansing?
Yes, it is.
And does it fall under your purview as the corridor specialist?
Yes, it would. Yes.
Have you identified violations of the city zoning ordinance on that property?
Yes, I have.
Can you explain to the court what those violations are?
Yes, some surfacing has been altered at the property. Gravel surfacing has been laid down and is being utilized as a parking surface, which is not permitted as far as the zoning ordinance standards state. With that, any unpaved surface on the property, either by building footprint or parking surface, or to be landscaped with a grass lawn or shrubs, something to that effect. So it certainly doesn't have gravel parking. So the two violations are the unimproved parking surface and lack of proper landscaping, such as the living grass lawn.
You said the unimproved
Parking surface.
parking surface, okay.
And on that parking surface right now, have you also identified violations of that? I mean, so the surface is a problem, but is there another issue related to that?
The surface isn't supposed to be used for parking. That's the main violation there.
Is the surface currently being used for parking?
Yes, it is.
And is this on the entire premises, or is there one particular area that is the violation?
The violation is located, the gravel is located in the backyard. However, there are some vehicles parked in the front.
Mr. Driver, when did you last inspect the property?
I was there this morning, right around, I want to say,
Driver, may I approach?
Yes.
Mr. Driver, I just handed you 2 photographs. Can you identify what those photographs are?
yeah, these photos are documentation of the violations in question. As you can see on the photo that had public street photographed in the background there. Ends of several vehicles backed up into the yard. The second photo of the gravel parking, you can see that gravel surface that has been laid down that has not been approved.
Take those photographs in the ordinary course of your employment.
Yes, I did.
Where were you when you took those photographs?
Yes, I was in the second floor bedroom of 1017 Dennis Street. That property, allowing for the dwelling to document the condition.
Your Honor, the city would move for the admission of the 2 photographs as an exhibit as a violation.
Okay, you want them marked out as one exhibit or separate?
As one exhibit is fine.
You have an objection to this being an exhibit?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's the objection?
I asked for time, so this whole thing going on for almost a whole year now.
No, that's not what I asked. What's your objection to this as an exhibit?
This is actual property. The only thing is these cars may be backed up a little bit more. That's all I gotta do is put them to the front.
Okay, so then you don't have an objection to
don't
this.
have an
This is, okay, so these are admitted as People's Exhibit A.
Thank
Or
you.
1, sorry, People's Exhibit 1.
Mr. Driver, what?
You can have a seat, sir.
What remedy are you seeking in this court ordered compliance?
We would meet the standards of the zoning ordinance. It would be preferred that the vehicles be removed from the lawn or from the gravel surface, and that the gravel be removed from the property. Some type of landscaping such as grass.
Are you seeking a monetary fine for this violation?
Yes.
And what is the amount of a fine that you would be seeking at this point?
$500.
Just to kind of give us a sense of when this began and where we're at. This is not the first court date, is that correct?
That is correct.
Has there been progress made, or are there violations still present?
There has been some progress. I want to say 3 or 4 of the vehicles parked on the gravel surface have been removed. However, there's still at least 20 vehicles on the gravel surface.
Mr. Driver, is there somebody here today as a representative of the LLC that you are aware of?
Yes, there is.
Can you point him out for the record?
Yes, Mr. Mustafa.
And that's who you work with on this particular property?
Correct.
The city has no further questions at this time.
Okay, did you have any questions for him, sir?
Not for him, but I have a question for the court.
You have questions for me? Okay. May this witness be excused from the stand?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
Thank you. Are you gonna call any more witnesses?
The city rests.
Okay. Did you want to make a statement for yourself or you just had questions?
I want to make a statement about what's going on with everything.
You can be excused, Mr. Driver. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. What did you want to share with the court, sir?
What I want to share with the court is what I feel like personally, I own this business. And what I feel personally is Mr. Driver with the neighbor working against me. The way is this working is two old people neighbors, which is what the first neighbor is, where he got these pictures from. So these pictures is not from my lot. I was there from 8 in the morning.
You said these are not from your lot?
That was not from my lot. That was from the neighbor house. And like you mentioned, in the second floor of the neighbor house. I don't know how he got up there. I want to know if the neighbor have problem with me or the city of Lansing.
But how is that relevant? Are you saying that this is not a violation of the city ordinance for code compliance?
No, let me get to you. I will answer every question.
I know you will. Otherwise, we don't have a case because I don't care where he took these pictures from. You're saying this is your property that you own,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
That I care about that part. If this is your property that you own,
Yes,
I don't care if he was standing on a cloud when he took these pictures. I don't care.
I hear you that.
And so I'm not gonna ask him, the neighbors let him in to take the pictures? I don't care how he got the pictures. I don't care, he could have had a drone, I don't know, I don't really care. I wanna know, what I care about is whether or not this is a violation of the law. That's what I care about. If you don't believe it's a violation of the law, that's one thing, but to say that you believe it's a violation of the law, but really the issue is that your neighbor reported it, they're supposed to report violations. Just like you're supposed to report violations.
Your Honor, he had a talk with me about the stuff that I had to fix. As
Okay,
you see in the picture, that first picture, my fence was all the way up here and I
Okay.
removed all that. I did every single step that he asked me.
wait, you
for.
say your fence was where?
You see this edge right here? My
Yes.
fence was all the way this way
Okay,
and he had me remove that because that's supposed to be grass.
okay,
At this time of point, he came to the back of the lot. That was a year ago. And he seen all this setup.
okay,
He did not mention anything about it or tell me that not supposed to be part of it.
okay,
He told me that there is parts and tires that we're not supposed to have them laid down. I worked on that and I start moving.
okay,
We are a car lot. This is the back lot. We make it the most respectful and cleanest the way we can. It's all fenced up and nobody can see anything. That's all I'm trying to get to this point. At
Okay,
this
but-
point,
but
a
I
year
do think-
ago, why didn't he tell me that I'm not supposed to leave car in here? Why
Right.
didn't he tell me that I'm not supposed to put any small rock in there? It just, for me, how I feel is he wasted my time and my money. Because he's seen all that project going on. He finished, got done with everything, didn't see him 3 months, came back later,
So,
he complained
so
about
remember
this.
when I asked you, did you have any questions for him? Because I can't answer what your you were supposed to ask
This
those
is
same
my first
questions.
time being in
Okay,
court, so I
I'll
don't
have
know
him
how-
come back because you have questions for him.
Sure.
I can't answer that. Mr. Driver, you can retake the stand and you're still under oath. And so it sounds like one of your questions is whether or not you all had a previous conversation, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can ask your questions about that.
You remember when you had me move the fence? I worked on that trash, you told me move that trash and there was something else right by the bathroom though. I worked on all those.
Well, you gotta let him answer the question. Do
Yes.
you remember that, sir?
I remember when I was at your property last fall, yes.
Sure. You remember talking to me about the fence moving?
I remember discussing with you about relocating the fence.
Sure.
yes.
Did I relocate the fence or no?
You did relocate the fence.
Did I work on the trash can? The way you wanted it
Yes,
to be
yep,
set up?
Yep, you screened in the
Did-
trash. can.
Sure. Did I work on not letting cars be parked overnight? That was one of your issues that you had in the beginning.
I think that was temporarily correct, yes.
My question is, why didn't you talk to me about all this setup in the back and the small garage that when you were there? Why was this issue not exist in the beginning?
When that notice was issued, you couldn't see back there. Your fence was erected.
No,
You
you
gotta
couldn't
let
see.
him
Oh,
answer.
I'm sorry. Couldn't see into the backyard. Adjustment violations were observable. No, when we returned, you did have those conditions in the rear yard, and I gave you a heads up as it wasn't on the violation notice, and told you that you're gonna want to take actions to eventually correct that parking. I know you had just moved in there. It was essentially a good faith effort, giving you the benefit of the doubt, as that is, I understand that's a very costly project to install parking, and you had just moved in.
Adjust what parking? I'm not following.
To install the proper paved surfacing to have those.
In the back.
In the back, after this being fenced out, what I did, instead of grass, I bought their small rock and I laid it down. So nothing, cars can be walked out there. But my main question is, he personally walked back there with me and told me about the tires indoor. And why didn't he mention about, I'm not allowed to do the whole process? As you can see, Your Honor, I spent money and I did some work on the gravel for me to park my cars that are not ready to be sold. This is the best way to keep them behind the fence so people can't see like any missing bumper, missing doors, missing lights. That's what I'm trying to run my business.
Okay, I have, let me follow up on this question. So you're saying when you went previously, you saw the cars parked there?
Yes, I did. Yep.
And, but he wasn't cited for that?
The notice that we already had open on the property didn't address that because we weren't aware of that, couldn't see it because the fencing closed it.
Okay.
One might be able to assume it's back there, but I couldn't just notate that.
Got it. So, did you mention to him that it needed to be, you said it needs to be paved?
I did let him know that parking surfaces are supposed to be paved, and around the same time, there was another dealership on South Cedar that was issued its license and received the municipal zoning approval, and they didn't have the proper parking in front. And again, it was essentially a good faith effort for them to get established first, and then we could work on getting the parking installed as required. That's what I was advised to do.
Okay.
So that's what I did.
So he was advised that it needs to be paved, but he instead did the gravel, is what you're saying?
So the gravel, he did not ask us to put if he could put it down, he put the gravel down, and it was discovered when we went back for a reinspection on the open notice already that we previously discussed. And that is when I informed him, you're gonna have to take these measures, because like I said, we had just dealt with it with another property. That's how I was advised to handle it. Now, as far as removing the junk and tires that he spoke of, so he was conducting major repairs on that property. It's zoned MXC, mixed use urban corridor, which doesn't allow for major repairs. So I said all the body parts have to go. You can do minor repairs such as tires, oil changes, things of that nature. But absolutely, under no condition can the junk be out there. And then we can discuss the parking at a later date.
Okay, in the pictures, I do see some tires, but you're not saying that there's junk in this.
Correct. When I initially sent this notice, there might have been one tire back there.
Got it. Okay. And so the question about the paving, he's addressed with his answer. Do you have another question for him, sir?
No, that's all I have.
Okay, what else did you want to tell the court?
What I want to tell the court, if that's a violation that I'm trying, I don't want to get a violation. I need some more time to taking care of all these cars. And then instead of the gravel, I'm gonna buy the actual grass, and I put it on top of the gravel. It's cheaper for me to take all the gravel back and put a new grass in there.
And then not park cars back
Not park car there if it's not allowed for me to park cars in.
Yeah, you can't park the cars on the grass, correct?
Correct.
It has to be paved if you want to park cars there.
I know it costs like 30 to 40, but I'm not going that road, so I gotta move all these cars. The gravel is gonna stay there, but I'm gonna put new grass all over that.
Okay, sounds good. And then what about the front?
The front of those lines, it will be taken care of today. All I gotta do, just move the car about this much further to the front.
And that's ultimately what the city is requesting plus a fine, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. It's
Okay.
a correction and a fine.
Okay, how long is it gonna take you to correct the issue?
I need 30 days to move the cars, and I need another 30 days to put the grass.
Okay, 30 days to move the cars and then to
Just
lay the
after
grass,
the 30
okay.
days to start
Let me
doing
give
the
you a
grass.
court date 30 days out so you can show them that you've moved the cars.
No problem.
And then that you've made efforts to get grass out there. Question, if he removes the cars, he's required to put grass there or landscaping?
Correct.
Okay, that's all I wanted to make sure. Okay, so we'll do that. So long as you get with the city in those 30 days, then I'll get you a date, 30 days after that to show evidence of the grass, okay?
No problem.
August 26th at 11.
August 26th at 11. Sorry, Mr. Driver, you could be excused from this. Do you have any questions today?
No, ma'am.
Go get you a notice for your next court dates, and then we'll see how we need to proceed at that time, okay? Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
Your Honor, the only question I would have was to be, would there be a fine imposed today for the continued noncompliance, or are we holding everything?
We're gonna hold everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm not gonna fine you today, because you're asking for time to comply. I think you thought you were complying is what it sounds like you were saying. We'll give you time to bring it into compliance.
Thank you.
You're all set for today. You're welcome.
Good?
Yes, you got your notice?
Yes, she did.
Yes, you're good. That's not his stuff, right?
No, I think that's Ms. Sutter.
What's going on with Gonzalez?
Your Honor, at this point, the city would move to dismiss.
Okay.
I believe it was on a complainant warrant, so we may need an ollie in the interest of justice on it.
Yeah, we can put one for you.
Thank you.
And Limones Morales. Why is this up for an arraignment?
Cody. Yeah, that's the lady that. She had to pay something.
Well, she didn't come.
I know I got an email. I think she paid. Questions about it. I think she was on.
Yeah, she's supposed to pay by last Friday.
Hey, what though?
Fine was, and then the other was supposed to be dismissed. If she paid by that Friday.
I'm not following. She was supposed to pay what in the dismissed?
She had several files.
Yeah, I have three set for today. I see that one is improper registration. There was a one. I don't see.
Oh, no, when we're done, I'm gonna go see, 'cause I think the criminal clerks manager had it. Well, she put something in JIS. I'm gonna see where.
Okay, I'll just hang out. Thank
I
you.
set aside the default on this one because she makes up the dates. Wash warrant. So we set it for what was she supposed to pay? It wasn't on any of these, I don't think. Maybe this? No. Let's see, set aside default.
I don't know if I got it.
Said defendant to clear license to be set for August 12th. I don't even have offers on any of these. Let's see, maybe it's in this one. set aside the car, yeah. Okay, wait a minute, defendant owes $264 in this file. Defendant to pay $175 by Friday, and court will waive balance. Yeah, but that's just on this file, I can't, she's on 3 trials today. She paid the $175.
I'm getting ready to check now.
And I can waive the balance of the fine that she owes on this file. But she still didn't come from the other court. There's somebody else here.
Susan said when you get a chance. See her. It's like, she still owes.
And she didn't pay that either.
She's got 186, 264. She's got a bunch of fines.
Well, on file number 23L2768352, she owed $264. Yes, I said if she paid $175, that I would waive the balance. She didn't pay anything. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, so thanks for running, Morales, Alicia, or Morales, the bench warning, Nolly Gonzalez. did, Dakari Hughes, have you seen her? If they weren't in default. It's supposed to appear for motion to set aside. that's all we have. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.